Myself and my family have got 2 small cane farms totalling 70 hectares under cane at Kamala, which is about 70 kilometres south of Mackay. One of the farms is rain-fed, so dry land, and the other one is irrigated. So we've been there since 2006 on the home farm, the dry land farm, and the irrigated farm we just bought last year. Oh, the whole family do, so my wife and my 2 kids, yeah, they help, they enjoy doing different things on the farm. I mean, being a small farm, you know, it's not full-time work for anyone. The home farm we bought in 2006 was conventionally farmed, so it was on 1.5 metre row spacings. It had, you know, cultivation practices were complete cultivation in preparation for planting. So we've changed that. In our first year there, we were lucky enough to get some support from Reef Rescue 1, and so we purchased and installed GPS guidance into our tractor for cultivation. So our initial changeover from 1.5 metre, we did cultivate the entire field because it had traffic all over it through its history, but we've progressed now. We only do zonal tillage because the whole farm's been converted to controlled traffic. Yep, so our practice change has been very much minimum tillage, wide rows, disc opener planters. We use fallow legumes in almost all of our fallow. That can be into, you know, sometimes that's planted into trash blankets, sometimes into a preformed bed. So yep, we changed practices a fair bit. It was a rundown farm when we purchased it, so there's quite a lot of problem grass weeds, particularly guinea grass and also green summer grass. So we commenced using Balance herbicide for pre-emergent grass control after harvest, and it was, you know, quite successful. But on our soil types, a lot of our fields, we've joined up paddocks, and so some of our fields run from heavy soils through to light soils. And there was an opportunity there to reduce application rates on light soils and maintain application rates on heavy soils. Now, a couple of years ago, we actually reduced our rate across the farm to match all the light soils. But what we found was on our heavy soil types, we actually started to get some green summer grass breakouts. So the opportunity for us, well, it made sense. We've got, again, with some Reef Rescue support, we put a GPS computer and totally computerised our spray rig. So that meant that that spray rig was capable of doing variable rate application of herbicides. So Bayer, in the last few years, Bayer's done quite a lot of work on balance and matching rates to different soils with different soil characteristics. And you know, there's a new label came out last year with Balance, so you could vary your rate by soil type. And so that's basically what we've done this year, is we've applied variable rate Balance to match our soil types, and overall we've reduced the total amount of Balance that we're applying to the field. Well, there's certainly a risk of affecting water quality, and you know, any reduction we can make in applications of pre-emergence and that will definitely reduce the risks of product leaving the farm, and that's what we're all about. We're trying to minimise our impact on water quality from everything we do. Well, our previous weed control practices were fairly typical of the district. We would use a diuron-based pre-emergent after harvest to control both grasses and broadleaf weeds and vines, which are a problem in cane. So there's been a whole range of information come out showing negative impacts of diuron on water quality. So we've changed away from diuron use. We don't use diuron anymore, and that's why we went to the newer pre-emergent herbicide Balance. And you know, it's been quite successful. We're only using 10% of the quantity of herbicide that we used to use. So we're definitely having a much improved impact on water quality. There's much less risk of herbicides leaving our farm, and that's a good thing. You know, we have a rainforest creek runs through the middle of our farm. We swim in that creek in summer. We want it to have really good water quality. In order to be able to determine where we want to put the different herbicide rates on, we've EC mapped all of the soils on our farm, and we've done soil tests in the different soil zones, and that's what we use as a basis for determining what rates of herbicide to apply. So far we've avoided the issue, we're putting on less herbicide, and we've avoided the issue of having weeds break out on our heavy soil, so we believe we're getting our rates right. So it's quite successful. And if we can get good weed control, then we need to use less herbicides overall, and hopefully in the future we have to use very, very few. That's the aim. Yeah, I think there are some savings. I mean, our initial change from diuron-based herbicides to the balance program, there's probably no change in cost there. It was just a better option. But then to go to variable rate balance, we're probably reducing our herbicide costs by about 30%. And the saving combined with more effective weed control, it's just reaping dividends for our farm.